Yeah, I think we can start now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Christ Society International. This is essentially about kingdom insights for success in life, in business, and in all that you do. How has it been with you? How did your week go? I want to say welcome to a brand new month, and I pray that as you step into the month of October, the last quarter of this year, every single thing you've trusted and believed God for, you begin to experience the manifestation now going forward in the name of Jesus. New doors shall open up unto you, new helpers shall show up for you, new opportunities shall come your way, divine grace, divine help, divine support, and assistance shall be yours in the mighty name of Jesus. You shall not miss it. This year shall bring a lot of things, a lot of good things, a lot of good tidings, a lot of good opportunities your way in the mighty name of Jesus. So I want to say welcome to a very perfect season for you, a very perfect duration for you, a very perfect occasion for you, where divinity is about to take in and take up your humanity. Muyiwaafolabi is my name, and I'm indeed glad to be here with you tonight once again as we share and we discuss and we talk about all the things that we need to talk about that will position us effectively in the place of peace, progress, prosperity, and position for the kingdom, as it were. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm sure you're happy to be here as well. So tonight, very quickly, I'm going to be taking us through something that I think is quite necessary and important and essential, especially for this season. Very, very critical for us to discuss, to share on, and learn about in this season. And it's about eliminating stagnation, delays, and frequent failures. Eliminating stagnation, delays, and frequent failures. Eliminating stagnation, delays, and frequent failures. 5 things you must do So I want to start by asking this question. Do you think you're stagnant? Is your answer yes? Is your answer no? Do you think you're suffering any form of delay in any area or aspect of your life? Are you suffering any form of delay in any aspect of your life? Are you also experiencing frequent failures? Let's internalize these questions before we give the answers. I do not want it to just come from the top of your head to say yes or no, or I think so, I believe so. Let's think about it critically. And we go slowly and begin to analyze it. Do you think you're stagnant? Do you think you're where you should be? Do you think exactly where you ought to be in life is where you're at in every ramification, in every area of your life, in your business life, perhaps in your career, in your relationships, finances, dreams, vision, your journey in life? Are you where you're supposed to be? Are you stationed in just one location and you've been there for far too long? Have you been in the same place for 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5 years, and perhaps you shouldn't be there for more than a year or two? I'm talking about in terms of your maturity, your growth, your financial growth, your family growth, your personal growth, your investment growth, even in health. Are you stagnant? Are you suffering unnecessary delays? Now, I'm not talking about in terms of comparison with other people, your friends, your associates, perhaps your classmates, because many of us make the mistake of comparison. You believe if other people are perhaps at the same level that you're at, then you are not stagnant. If one or two persons that you were classmates or you were in school together, if all of you are at the same level, if all of you are at the same pace, then you are not stagnant. Could there be a possibility that you are all stagnant together and you do not know it because perhaps you are all not moving? Is it possible that collectively you're experiencing a delay? There's a collective delay on everybody's destiny, on everybody's journey. Have you considered that fact? Because many of us, once we look to the left and we look to the right and we look at our classmates, we look at our colleagues, perhaps even our siblings, and we realize that it appears as if everybody is on the same level. Then we think, okay, it's not my fault. It's not only me. We are many. It's general. So I'm good. Are you settling for the generic, as in because we're all affected, then it doesn't matter? Do you think you're stagnant? Are you measuring your life, your success, your progress, your accomplishments by that of other people? Who are you looking at and using as a measuring parameter for your own movements, your own progress in life? How old are you? What should you be doing by now? What have you accomplished so far? Are you stagnant? So let's look at it. We want to believe that by the time we're done tonight and we begin to ask the questions, we'll be able to tell in clear terms if there is any form of stagnation that we're experiencing, or if we're moving at the pace that we should be moving, or if we're even ahead in life. But whatever the case is, I believe that we can move faster, we can move forward, and we can do better than we're doing currently. So I want to just delve straight into those things that I think we should share and learn and know tonight. So I want to illustrate tonight with some kind of like interesting comparison. Picture this, just picture this. I'm sure we all know him, that's President Barack Obama. So let's assume the president or the former president of the United States today or tomorrow, or maybe last year, decides to address the elders or the leaders of the Black community in the United States. And it says to them, the last time I traveled to Kenya, that's where he's from, the God of our ancestors appeared to me. He told me he has seen the sufferings of the Black race in America. And it says it is time we all return to Africa. Africa, the richest continent in the world by natural resources. So that's Barack Obama addressing African American, leaders after the killing of George Floyd. I'm sure many of us can remember George Floyd that was killed by a police officer, and Obama shows up in the United States and says, hey, guys, all Black people, let's go back to Africa. That's what a God that I met when I went to Kenya told me, let's go back. Then you look at Black Americans, look at African Americans. Let's face it, how do you think they're going to respond? How do you think they're going to react to him? Now, these are people that the generations have been abroad, have been in America for over 400 years. They went there as slaves, and they were there for so long as slaves, and oppression, subjugation, and all the discrimination has been there with them for over 400 years. And perhaps they have adjusted to it, and it's become a part of their lives. How do you think they're going to respond to him? Do you really think that they'll be willing to come back to Africa to come and do what? Hello, yes, I know my forefathers, my ancestors are from Africa, but hey, Obama, go and tell that God that he's joking, man. We know things are tough here. We know things are difficult here. We know things are not that easy, but how do we begin to go back? Where do we start from? What are we going to start to move? Where exactly are we going? And he keeps saying to them, don't worry, there are a lot of interesting things in Africa, natural resources and all that stuff. We'll go work the land. We'll build our own empires. We'll build our own. We just want freedom to be ourselves and build our own nation. And this God has promised that he's going to be with us. He's going to help us so we can be a nation of Black people. So all you guys, tell your people, let's move. Let's go back to Africa. Do you think, sincerely, looking at it today, do you think those guys will be willing to follow him? A God in Kenya says we should return, and suddenly we'll leave the United States of America, one of the most powerful nations in the world, one of the greatest nations in the world, one of the most advanced nations in the world. Yeah, we know we've been oppressed and we've been abused, but we've been here for over 400 years. How are we just going to uproot ourselves and go back to Africa? And it's not as if there are no enemies there. Come on, there are people there already. What do we do? I'm not sure they'll be very excited and willing to go or follow him. So let's draw a parallel. Let's draw a parallel. So let's picture this as well. So a man called Moses, a prince in Egypt, returns to Egypt and says, the last time I was at Mount Sinai, tendering my father-in-law's flock, the God of our ancestors appeared to me. He told me he has seen the sufferings of his people in Egypt, and he says it is time we all return to Canaan, where Jacob, our ancestors, where they came from over 430 years ago, the land flowing with milk and honey. He says to the elders and the leaders of the Jewish community in Egypt, hey, guys, let's go back to Canaan. Now, drawing the parallel with the illustration I gave of Obama, perhaps we'll see a clearer picture of what he must have struggled to do with those people. They didn't even know this God. Hence, God had to give Moses a name by which they will call him. It says, tell them, my name is I am that I am. The God of our fathers, the God says what? We should move. We've been here 430 years. We're born here. We're used to it. We're familiar with this. This is all we know. This is what we know. The culture, the gods, the food, everything. This is all we know. This is what we know. How do we move from here? We're over 3 million. How do we move from here to a land that you say is flowing with milk and honey, but it's been occupied by the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and all that? We should go there and do what? So you can imagine the kind of challenge that Moses must have faced persuading and convincing the people to leave Egypt to a promised land, to leave Egypt to a promised land, to leave Egypt to a promised land, to leave a land of suppression, of oppression, of slavery, of deprivation, of abuse, to a promised land. The same difficulty that I'm sure Obama will face today in trying to convince and persuade the African Americans living in America to leave a land of perhaps suppression, oppression, injustice, abuse, discrimination, to leave such a land to a promised land. The difficulty in persuading and convincing and influencing and getting them to move from where they are to a promised land. I'm taking us somewhere, so just follow me so I can understand this. What is the similarities between the experience of Moses and the experience of a Barack Obama should this happen? First and foremost, the people had both been in slavery and oppressed for over 400 years. So African Americans and the Jews have both been in slavery. The African Americans in America and the Jews in Egypt for over 400 years, similarities. Many generations have been born and have died in the land of oppression. Many of them born into slavery and they all died in slavery. Many born into oppression, suppression, deprivation, racial discrimination, and died in the same environment. Number three, none of the living ones know or have the experience of home. Where they've been asked to return to, they do not know how it is. They've only heard about it, they've never experienced it. African Americans have never, the ones alive and well today, have never lived in Africa, just like the Jews that were in Egypt then had never lived in Canaan. They were born in Egypt. All they've always known and experienced is their life as the oppressed. That's what they've always known. That's what they were raised as. That's what their nurture is. That's what their exposure and then everyday life is about. A life of a people oppressed, suppressed, abused, and used. Both races lived and were oppressed by world superpowers. So then Egypt was the greatest nation in the world, the most powerful nation in the world then. So they were the most advanced, the most developed technology-wise, material-wise, wealth-wise, leadership-wise, in military strength. They were the greatest at that time. Same goes for America even now, the greatest nation. Why do I leave this kind of place and go to a place where I have to fight and struggle and begin to build? But Moses and Obama are of the ruling elites. Moses was once upon a time a prince in Egypt. Obama was once upon a time the president of the United States. So they have been a part of the elites and they have ruled and been in charge as elites. But Moses and Obama have blood ties with the oppressed. Moses was a Jew. Obama is an African American. Both have ties with the oppressed. Slavery or racial oppression has become the norm in the beautiful and rich nation where these people lived. Slavery and racial oppression is the norm, the familiar, the everyday, the regular, what they do has become their lives. And lastly, perhaps moving to a new land with potentials, but enemies in the land may not be that attractive to the people. I guarantee you, should Obama say to African Americans today to leave the United States and return to Africa to come build or develop or explore Africa, most of them would rather pass. They would say, no, we do not want to do that. We do not want to come. Why? Because sometimes being familiar with your limitations, being familiar with your oppression, being familiar with your suppression, being familiar with abuse, being familiar with relegation, being familiar with your chains and your jail may make it very difficult for you in your mind to want to move forward and experience true freedom. Listen, being familiar with being oppressed, with being abused, with being subjugated, with being chained may make it very difficult for you to crave for freedom to manifest anything. So you may be stagnant, you may be held back, you may be delayed. In fact, you may be experiencing back-to-back denial, but because you are used to it, you are familiar with it, you are born in it, you were raised in it, you're nurtured in it, it doesn't even occur to you that there is a life better and greater, more exciting, more fulfilling than what you're experiencing. Why? Because you're used to the familiar. Stagnation, delays, and frequent failures may be the lot of the Jews in Egypt. Stagnation, delays, frequent failures, deprivation may be the lot of a lot of African Americans today. But because it has become a part of them, it has become a part of their reasoning, it has become a norm for them. They do not even see it as such. They have become so familiar with their chains and their pains and the oppression and suppression and limitation and subjugation. They do not see it as a problem. Are you stagnant? Are you being delayed? Are you experiencing frequent failures? The question is, why, if you are? The question is, are you even experiencing it? You may not know. Why may you not know? Why would it not be obvious? Why would you think, no, he's not talking to me? Simple, because number one, you're born into an environment where failure is so common, it has become normal. If you're to count or number, top of your fingers now, how many of our friends or family or people you grew up with are doing so well in life? They are quite a few. You're born into an environment where failure is so common, it has become the norm. The number of people that fail every day are so plenty, it has become something you're familiar with. So failure has become common practice. So when you fail as well, it's not a big deal, it's common. Number two, you're born into an environment where survival, staying alive, is an achievement. So the fact that you wake up every day, you're like, Father, thank you, I'm still awake today. It is an achievement. So you cannot see anything greater than waking up every morning as a big deal. Being awake and surviving every day is indeed a miracle, the environment. Number three, you're born into an environment where it's okay for freedom to be exchanged for money. Many people, perhaps including you, were raised and nurtured in an environment where it is only acceptable, it is only normal, it is only expected that whatever it is that you want in terms of money, in terms of value, you can give up your freedom for it. It's called modern slavery. So many of us today, by the way of the dictate of the society, of the environment, we wake up every day and we offer our time, our effort, our energy, our thoughts, our lives to someone perhaps called an employer, perhaps to a company, perhaps to an organization, and they tell you how to live, the number of hours to stay at work, the amount you're entitled to every Monday, practically own your life, and you're giving up your freedom because you want to survive. And you do not see anything wrong with it. You know why? It's normal. Everybody is doing it. That's how everybody lives. Everybody wakes up in the morning and they go to this place where they work and they exchange their freedom to birth their ideas, to birth their dreams, to do what they are here to do on earth, to manifest. They exchange it for payment. And it's normal. Why? It's popular. Why? Everybody's doing it. Why? It's the programming. You live in an environment where people work hard to look successful instead of working hard to really become successful. So to put up an appearance as if you're doing well is something that acknowledges or that actually elicits a lot of applause. People clap for you when they think you're doing well. Instead of you focusing on doing well, many people would want to give an impression as if they are doing well. So they invest their time, they invest their energy and sweat into acquiring things that will make it look as if they are doing well, instead of them focusing on really doing well. To be in a land of slavery, just eating and sleeping and waking up and serving a hard task master is perhaps, okay, we're good with it, but will it ever be the same as being the Lord of your own life, the one in charge of your destiny? No, I do not think so. You live in an environment where the onions and garlic of Egypt is more desirable than the milk and honey of Canaan, your promised land. So perhaps because of the environment where you're at, because of the experiences you're going through, because what is not right has become normal, because what is not supposed to be so has become so, because what is your oppression and your deprivation and your jail has become your everyday life. You have become so used to it, you do not even desire something better than it because you are used to suffering. Let me put it that blunt. You're used to suffering. You're used to not having enough. You're used to living a life where there is mad traffic, no power supply, no security, no good food, where you're oppressed, you're suppressed, you can't express yourself in a very tough and treacherous and hard and harsh environment. You've become so used to it. So the little things you get, you're satisfied, and the craving and desire to be the master of your own promised land has ceased to exist on the inside of you. Lastly, you live in an environment where joining the oppressors is more desirable than being free from the oppressors. So I want to assume that a lot of Egyptians then who were doing so well would have been inspirational, as it were, to some of the Jews. And they will look up to them and say, one day I want to have 500 goats. One day I want to have 300 sheep. One day, like this Egyptian. So basically, being successful within and under oppression, right, is become the norm rather than them building their own. It has become the norm. I want to assume that African Americans, being entertainers, being dancing, doing sports, and do all those things, has become more of their own success dream than maybe owning a multi-billion-dollar business and creating and inventing stuff that other Americans are doing. Multi-billion-dollar businesses in financial technology, in digital technology, and all those multi-billion-dollar businesses perhaps is not the aspiration and the dream of African Americans, because today, most of them think the best way to succeed and be relevant in America is to be an entertainer, either in music or movies or sports. So to build a nation, to be in charge of nations, to determine the policies of nation and to rule the nation is no longer their prerogative. It's not important to them. They are just willing to live by the settings and the plan and the status quo of being oppressed. So you're willing basically to join the oppressors and experience the kind of, well, the success they allow you and permit you to experience, rather than being free to be in charge of your own world and achieve your own dreams. So let's talk about it. Stagnation, delays, and frequent failures. Do you know your life can be much better than this? You know life can be more prosperous than this. Do you know it is possible for you to make all the money you want to make, build the business you want to build, establish the life you want to establish, touch this generation if you're willing, and manifest all that God has put on the inside of you if you're willing? I want to ask you a question. Do you really think, do you sincerely really think that the reason why you're in this world is to come, go to school, get married, have kids, pay bills, retire, and die? Do you really think that the reason why you wake up every day is to eat, pay bills, survive, and one day die? Is that a dream? Is it a vision? Is it an ambition? Or do you think there's a possibility that your imagination, your possibilities, your power has been suppressed, has been challenged by the environment? Hence, you don't even know who you are anymore. Is there more to you than who you think you are? Is there greatness in you? Is there power in you? Are there possibilities in you that you have relinquished and you have given up on, only to live a life of bills and more bills and survival? By the time you hit your 60s, late 60s and 70s, will you look over your life and clap for yourself and say, I succeeded? When the Almighty God, your maker and creator, created you, did he put anything on the inside of you that the world is in their need of, and you're expected to manifest and bring it forth before you depart? Do you think your life is just for you to earn money and when you have a little bit of excess to give to the needy and die? Is there a brainchild that God gave to you as a solution to challenges, to problems, to needs in this life? Are you in this world to just exist, or you are a city set upon a hill? Are you in this life to just be there, or you are a light and a salt? You are the light of the world. You are the salt of the earth. You're a solution. Do you see yourself as such? Wherever you go, everything you do, who sees you as light? Who sees you as salt? What solutions are you bringing? What answers do you have? What's the power you carry on the inside of you? Is it possible that the environment where you're born into, those that raised you, the environment that nurtured you, have totally stolen away your possibilities, your greatness, and your potentials? And you cannot see that such a thing has happened to you or has befallen you, because that's what's happened to everybody. Dreams crushed, expectations destroyed, possibilities messed up, because the system has been designed to keep you suppressed, oppressed, and relegated. Is there anything greater than what you're experiencing now that your maker has passed on to you, has promised you, and is willing to work with and through you with it? What's your experience? Maybe it's time we begin to rediscover what we carry, and regardless of where we have been, we begin to see the possibilities of becoming extremely great and unique and significant in life, not as mere men, but as gods walking on earth. You see, when you do not control your time, your source, and your resources, you've lost the power to advance, to progress, and achieve great results at your own speed. When you do not control your time, when you do not control your source, you do not control your resources, you've lost the power to advance, to progress, and achieve great results at your own speed. That is one way in which you've been relegated, suppressed, and held back. Your source, your resources, and your time. When you feel at home and you're comfortable with your chains, your jail and your jailers, you cannot move at your pace. When you feel at home and you're comfortable with your chains, your jail, your jailers, you cannot move at your pace. Are you feeling at home even in this struggle? In your struggle, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. Are you feeling at home? When you do not have a defined and well-described destination for your life's journey, you most likely be stagnant, delayed, and you'll fail many times. This is extremely important and powerful, and I think you should say this. Do you have a well-defined and well-described destination in life? From where you are at today, where you're located today, from where you're positioned in life today, from where you have journeyed to so far, where are you heading towards? Do you have a clear definition and well-described destination for your life's journey? Let me tell you the truth. If you don't have a well-described destination, if you don't have a clearly defined destination, you won't even know if you're stagnant or you're progressing, because it is your defined and described destination that will make you know and be informed if you're moving fast enough or you're being delayed. Where do you want to be at 50, at 60? What do you want to own? Who do you want to be? What do you want to have become in terms of the quality of your performance, the quality of your output, and your growth? What size, quantity, and nature of problems will you be able to deal with in another 5 years? as a doctor, as an architect, as an IT specialist, as a fashion person, as whoever you are, in another 5 years, do you have a clear description, a well-defined place for yourself? Do you have a life strategy? Do you have a life plan? Do you have a well-articulated progress expression put down on paper per time, per season? There is this emphasis that God kept making to Moses and the children of Israel: a land flowing with milk and honey, the land of the Hittites, the land of the Jebusites. He kept describing. So they were not missing, they were not lost as far as where they're going was concerned. They knew where they were going and they knew the destination. Hence, they knew they were being delayed for 40 years. If you do not have a clearly defined and well-described destination for your life's journey, how would you know if you're stagnant? So it brings it back to the very first question I asked when we started. Are you stagnant? Are you delayed? Have you failed many times? What will make you realize or know this is not your classmates and how well or how badly they're doing. It's not your colleagues in the office or how well or badly they're doing. It's not your siblings, how well or badly they're doing. It's not the people that you live together with in your neighborhood, how well they're doing or otherwise. Knowing if you're stagnant, delayed, or you're moving fast on your journey is informed by having a clear definition and description of where you're going in life. When did you plan or have you planned to arrive at your defined and well-described destination? Age 55, age 60, age 65, at 70, when will you arrive? With what do you want to arrive? Your financial growth, your health vision, your business ambition, your dreams, your capacity, the things you want to do in life. At what point would you say, I have arrived? I have run my race. I have finished my course. At what point, at what age, after what achievement and accomplishments can you say, yes, I'm in my promised land? Ladies and gentlemen, without this clear and well-defined and described destination for your life, you can't even know if you're stagnant, if you're delayed, or you failed many times. When your mind is preoccupied and filled with dealings that are at where you're at today, instead of where you want to be, you'll be stagnant. You see, when you wake up every day and you open up your mind and you feel it daily with the problems and challenges of now, and you're responding and reacting and complaining and lamenting about the problems and challenges of now, it will be difficult for your mind to be open onto strategy and plans towards where you want to be tomorrow. And when every day your lamentation, your judgment, your criticism, your major thought is all about today, it's all about today, it's all about today, you will lack what I call the mental migration that can pull you into a better tomorrow. Many of us fill our hearts with today's entertainment. We fill our hearts with today's envy and jealousy. We fill our hearts with today's problems, oppression, limitations, and the things that we lack. We fill our hearts with the things that we think we do not have and the things we are battling with today. So every single day, we invest our hearts and our minds trying to deal with the problems of now. And we hardly ever give a thought to the possibilities and the future and tomorrow that is coming. Without a mental migration, you cannot move. If the children of Israel in Egypt keep filling their thoughts every day with the issues, with the problems, with the opportunities, with the greatness, with everything that is happening in Egypt, they will never leave. If every single day they are consumed, involved, participating, getting relevant, and looking for acceptance with the Egyptians, the possibility, the willpower to want to move from Egypt to their promised land will be missing. As long as you are comfortable with your work environment, with where you're working, with the little business you're doing, with where you're staying, with how you're living, with the little money you're making, as long as you are comfortable and you are just dwelling and dreaming and working based on where you're at right now. The mental migration that will move you from the level of thousands to millions will not show. That will move you from the level of millions to billions will not show up, because you're not creating the room for the imagination, the eye of your understanding, being able to see into a greater future will not be there, because you're preoccupied with today. Hence, you're stagnant. When you reject the way and keep holding on to your way, you will fail frequently. You see, there is a trend and a pattern and a language and a phrase that has become so commonplace these days. Instead of people acknowledging their weaknesses and knowing that there's a need for them to improve and be better, they come up with their personal explanation, their personal excuses, and their personal orientation, and they call it their truth. And they say, my truth, what I believe, what I accept, what I feel, what I believe about this thing is this, and it is my truth. I don't care what anybody else feels, it is my truth. Somebody would say to you, for example, this is just an example, I can dress the way I like. It's my way of expressing myself. I can show off skin. It's the way I want to express myself. It is my truth. If you're not comfortable with it, that is your own opinion. I cannot impose your truth on my truth. Listen, your truth is not the truth, because there are consequences of not staying with the truth. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man. The end thereof is destruction. There is a way to grow. If you want to grow in life, you must open up your heart to knowledge. Teachings, books, videos, knowledge. What you do not know can harm you, can stop you, can stagnate you. There is no any other way to grow except by knowledge. It doesn't matter if your truth is that I don't have to read, I can still grow. You are lying to yourself. And at the end of the day, you realize it. There is no any other way to grow than by studying, than by reading, through discussions, through events and participations in communications and conversations such as this. It is the food that you feed your mind with that determines the growth of your person. Listen, there is a way to make money. It doesn't matter if your truth is that by hard work, I'll be rich. Hard work does not make people rich. It's financial literacy. Financial literacy and commercial excellence. Knowing how to commercialize what you have. Commercializing. Commercialize. That's why a lot of people just wake up one day and start a business. Somebody is doing well, so me too, I can do it. And at the end of the day, they waste their time, waste their resources, and waste their opportunities. There's no way you can become super wealthy if you do not know anything about commercialization. Commerce is the way to wealth. It is not hard work. It is not qualifications. It is not certifications. It is commerce. This is the truth. If you want to be rich in business, you must learn the business. You must master the business. You must know the secret of the business. Even if your truth is saying, I don't have to know it, I'll practice that, your truth will always fail you. When you reject the way and keep holding on to your way, you will fail frequently. The path to greatness in life is not by holding on to other people. It's not by depending on other people. It's not by connecting to other people you cannot add value to. You must be a person of worth and of value yourself to attract the people that will help and support you in life. People will disrespect you, people will reject you, they will relegate you, and they will not think much of you if you do not have anything that is of great value to them. The world, sincerely and honestly, is not about successful people pulling up people that are not successful. It is about successful people connecting with themselves and taking advantage of the needs and deprivation of those that are not successful. No great person No great person will willingly and openly show somebody that is struggling the way. They will only introduce somebody to the way if the person has the possibility and tendency to add value to them. That's the way the world is. You want to be successful. You want to be great. You must become valuable yourself. You cannot find an ordinary iron where gemstones are gathered. You must become refined, polished. You must have something of worth and value to partner, to align, and to stay with some people. It's not by hustle. It's by transformation. It's by transformation. You must become a person of worth and of value before you can move ahead. The way is the way. Your way may make you fail frequently. So these are the 5 things I'll expect that you can do right now that will make you move forward quickly. I see you building that house very soon. I see you buying the car very soon. I see you starting the business very soon. I see you growing the business very soon. I see you inventing that stuff you want to invent very soon. I want to see you occupy that position of leadership in that organization very soon. I want to see your dreams come true very soon. And these are the 5 things you have to do now. These are the first things, the 5 things you have to do now. Number 1, privatize your life. I want you to understand this. Privatizing your life does not mean don't relate to people or don't connect with people. It simply means stop living to impress, oppress, or compete. My mates are using iPhone 13, I must get it. My mates are driving this kind of car, I must drive it. My mates are using bone steak, whether bone straight, whether by anyhow, I must get it. My mates are living in this area, I must live there. When your life does not have its own uniqueness and its own identity, you can't move forward. Scalar quantity, you're just running back and forth, helter skelter. You will not move forward. There will be a lot of movement, but no progress because you are chasing and chasing and chasing people and things you can never catch up with. You must define your own life, what you want now and what you want delayed till later. You must have a life that is unique, that is different, that is peculiar to you. Stop telling people what you want to do. Hey, I want to do this. Hey, don't just be about mouth. Don't be hot air. Just do it. If you want to read, read. If you want better qualification, go for it. If you want to start a business, do it. There's so many people that have said so many things. I want to do this, and they never get around to doing it. Because at times when you say these things, the power to pursue begins to leak. I never really get to doing it because it's no longer coordinated and it's no longer sitting in your spirit. It has escaped. Stop telling people what you want to do. Just go ahead and do it. That's being private with your life. Let your vision drive your goals and action, not what's trending. As valuable and as important as social media is, and people are making billions and millions of social media and the digital superhighway, you must allow your vision to drive your goals and action, not what is trending. This is what they're doing now. That's what they're doing now. This is what they're doing now. And you are not allowing your goals and vision to drive the things you want to do. You must have a vision. Make sure your vision is always superior to what's trending, because your vision is what makes your life different and unique. Trend is general and common and can derail you and deprive you and make you fail. Your vision, what's your vision? And I said it must connect with a description and a definition of your destination. Get rid of friends, associates, and people who compete and compare instead of collaborating and supporting you. Let me tell you something. You must learn discipline. You must learn discipline. You must break that addiction to people. One of the major challenges that leads to human failure in life is a weakness most of us do not know. We get addicted to people. Yes, you may be familiar with somebody, you may be fond of that person, and you may really love that person and all that. But make sure If that person is beginning to act and behave in ways that are destructive or derailing of your vision and destiny, you can terminate that addiction. You must look for people that are willing to collaborate with you and support you. Don't keep friends that compete and compare. They will mess you up. Get rid of friends. Every friend that is silently or openly competing with you will derail you. You don't need plenty friends. You just need a few that are collaborating and supporting. You don't need plenty that compete and compare with you. People's opinion about you, your unique life should not bother you. Keep them guessing. The end shall justify the means. Privatize your life. Number 2, set money as a goal. Set money as a goal. Please, I'm going to drop something on you now. Never, ever forget this. You see, money is not everything, but money affects everything. I say, money is not everything. Yeah, but money affects everything. If you want to do well in life, the fuel to your destination is money. The power, the horsepower to your destination is money. Money is not everything, but money affects everything. Money affects the quality of the food you eat. Money affects the quality of your healthcare. Money affects the quality of your education. Money affects the quality of the security you can enjoy. You can live in a gated environment where there's security, or you can live in an open environment where anybody can attack and kill and steal and destroy. Money affects your opportunities and your exposure. Where big people gather, if you don't have money, you can't enter the place. Where you can meet the connections and the contacts that will help you and build you up. If you don't have money, you can't eat where they eat, you can't party where they party, you can't hang out where they hang out, and you can't associate with their flock and their type if you don't have the money to access the place. Opportunities are purchased. Money affects your exposure. The ability to leave your house and go to certain places and travel out of this country and travel to places where you can meet people and know new things. Money is critical. Money affects your quality of contact and connection. Money is not everything, but it affects everything. So set money as a goal. Now, let me explain this to you. If where you work is your exclusive source of income, you've perhaps sold your freedom. You must decide to say, okay, my salary is my salary, but how and where else can I make money from? You must set money as a goal. You must. And your source of income should not be primarily where you work. It's good for money to come from there, but have 2 or 3 other places where money comes in by something you are doing. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if a man, if an uncle, if a benefactor, if a rich friend or a lady friend, or even your parents fund your life, you sold your dignity and your freedom. You're still not free. They will control you. They will tell you where to sit, where to go, how to live, what to do. They will control your life. Freedom comes when you have money to pay your own bills. And this money is not coming from the person that wants to control you or tell you how to live your life and how far you can go in life. People that pay your bills most of the time are the ones that keep you in the jail of being stagnant. You must make money as a goal. Many of us are operating or working companies we do not like, but we cannot leave because we don't have money. Money must be a goal. Invest some of your salary in a venture that will yield regular income. Apart from your salary, if you're a group of 2 or 3 or 4 girls, pull your money together and own a salon together. What is the essence of friendship, of competing with iPhone and competing with extension and competing with nails and skin and all those kind of things if you cannot collaborate and say, guys, let's make money together. Girls, let's make money together. Start a salon. The salon you're going to every day and you're spending money, making your hair, doing your nails and doing all that. Why can't you own one? If you don't have enough money, can you call 2 or 3 or 4 other girlfriends of yours? I'm talking to ladies now that have sense and they want to be free. Like, guys, let's start something. And together, you build it. You employ people and you're making additional money from there. Can you put together money and buy freezers and start a meat shop as guys? Can you start a learning hub where people can come online and learn things? You're a specialist in maybe financial management or something, and all of you come together and you train people there and you share the money. Can you start a clothing line, for example? Can you start a barbing salon, for example? You must have and create other sources of income. Set money as a goal. Enough money brings the confidence, the courage, and the power to follow and sponsor your own dreams in record time, not at retirement. If you want to move quickly and fast and out of stagnation, set money as a goal. You must make money and set it as a goal. Number 3, specialize in what you're good at. Specialize in what you're good at. Listen, I see and I notice a lot of people just keep jumping. This is what's trending now, they're there. That's what's trending now, they're there. That's what's trending now, they're there. They don't have a uniqueness to their life, their calling, and their journey. You must specialize in what you are good at. Whatever it is you're good at and it is commercially viable, stay there. Don't be distracted by quick gratification, quick returns. Be able to delay your gratification. Whatever gift and talent or ability God has given to you naturally is a seed. The reason why now it is not bringing money to you yet is because it is still at the level of being a seed. Seed is not so useful to a lot of people. It must grow, and that's why I said growth is important. It is your responsibility to feed that gift, to nurture that gift, to improve it and make it bear fruit for the world to see it and pay you. Money and attractiveness happens when you begin to bear fruit, when people see that you're smart, you're good, you can solve their problems, you can repair the car, you can make the cloth well, you can do things so well. That's the fruit of the seed that you have. Seed is not attractive. In fact, seed is hidden and covered under the soil. It is the fruit that is attractive. And if you do not grow, you can't bear fruit. If you don't bear fruit, you can't attract people and they can't pay you. Transform whatever you have as a gift, be it an academic gift, be it a talent, be it a craft. Transform it from being a seed, a hidden thing in you, and begin to bear fruit with it so that the world can pay you. Greatness in life is delivered on the platform of excellence, not effort. Everybody is making efforts. The rich are the ones that the legitimately rich are the ones that are already excellent. Be the best, period. Period. If you own a barbering salon, let yours be the best. If you're in IT, let it be the best. If you're in drama, let it be the best. If you're in media, let it be the best. Let the world notice you. Let people notice you. Let them see your good works. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Matthew 7:19. God expects you to grow and manifest and bear fruit. If not, poverty, lack, and stagnation will be your portion. Number 4, fruit visibility. Eventually, you have become very good and people can, in fact, exchange money or whatever it is for what you have to offer. That is when you should be visible. Now, I'm not saying that you should make your life public. No, it is not your life that should be made public. It is the solution and the answers to problems that should be made visible. No product that is in the market will invite you to come and look at their factory. No, the factory where they're made remains a private space. It is not open to everybody. It is the produce that comes from the factory that is open in the market. The factory secret is not made open to people. The ingredient is not made public. It is the finished product, the fruit of what the factory has gone through or put the product through that you see out there. So the bottle of soft drink, the beverage, the milk that you see out there has gone through a process of factory. Don't put your factory out there. Don't put your life out there. Put your fruit out there. The Bible says, neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, that's a basket, but on a candlestick, and it gives light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they see your good works, they see your wonderful products, and they see your wonderful skills and your competence and glorify your Father which is in heaven. You're glorifying God by the results you can bring forth. Matthew 5:15-16. So, what do you do? Put your product out there. Put your product out there. People don't buy the best products. They buy the most famous ones. Be famous. Let your product be famous. Advertise it, push it, make it, let people see it. Don't hide it. Don't let it like show off. Yes, you're supposed to show off. You're a city on a hill. It is godly to show off what you are producing, not show off yourself. What you're producing, show it off. Advertise it, communicate it, publicize it. Don't be shy. Once it's good enough, once it's a good food, make people see it and know it. People give money in exchange for the product that they know, not the best product. The last one, excellence as a nature. Excellence as a nature. To manifest is to express in the visible realm, what has been perfected in the visible realm. What I'm saying is that whatever it is you have done and worked on in the visible realm, to manifest is to express it for people to see. To manifest is to transform into someone attractive with the capacity to solve problems. I shared that earlier. You cannot be in the clique, in the league of some kind of people that can help you and support you unless you have gone through what? Transformation. Spend your time every day. Some people call it free time. Some people call it, I'm not busy. Invest in yourself. Keep going through transformation by your daily hours. To manifest is to be knowledgeable, to be capable, and dynamic enough to become reliable, dependable, and trustworthy. To manifest is to be excellent at what is good. The Bible says in Romans 16:19, be excellent at what is good, be innocent of evil. Be excellent. Be excellent. Be excellent. Be excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. These are the 5 things I need to do to move forward. I don't know if you have any questions. Just for 1 or 2 minutes, let's answer the questions and we'll move on. Thank you for your attention. God bless you. Just type it, type the questions. Just type it in the chat. Let's answer the questions. Just 1 or 2 minutes, let's answer the questions. Any questions? Any questions? So challenge your comfort zone. Challenge your comfort zone. Dr. Shitu, you missed number 3. Okay, let me give you number 3. Number 3 is specializing in what you're good at. Whatever it is you're doing, be a specialist. Don't be jack of all trade, master of none. Focus. And let me expatiate a bit on that. If you call Michael Jordan, what comes to your mind is basketball. If you call Michael Jackson, what comes to your mind is pop music. If you call Mike Tyson, that's Michael Tyson, what comes to your mind is boxing. 3 Michaels, but different things will come to your mind. That's specialization. Michael Jackson, music. Michael Jordan, basketball. Michael Tyson, boxing. Michael Jackson can do basketball and do music and do boxing. No, we won't know what he's about. So specialize. Let people know you. When you hear Tiger Woods, golf will come to your mind. When you hear Serena Williams, lawn tennis will come to your mind. When you hear Ronaldo, football comes to mind. Lionel Messi, football comes to mind. So that's it. From Adeshina, how do you decide which of your talents you should focus on to create wealth? How do you discover your core purpose and fulfill it? Okay, let me try to address this very quickly because of our time. Many of us have various gifts. We have a lot of gifts. It's not just 1 or 2 or 3. We look at our gifts, and we have quite a number of gifts. But I tell you this, I make a decision about the gift I want to invest in by its commercial viability. I may have a gift, I may have a talent, and my decision to invest and make excellent that gift will depend on its commercial viability. What's commercial viability? The number of people that are willing and ready to buy that gift or buy that product at a given time. So if I have a particular gift and I look at Nigeria, and I know that 50 million people are my potential buyers, and I have another gift and I know that only 10 million people are likely to pay for it, I will focus and develop the one that 50 million people will pay for rather than develop and focus on the one that 10 million people will pay for. That's commercial viability. Some people are gifted and talented, and they have a lot of stuff on the inside of them, and they want to express it and they want to be excellent at it. But the truth is, the number of people that are excited or attracted or want to pay for that particular gift are very few. So you will invest so much in that gift and you will still be broke and poor and stagnant because financial freedom will never be yours. Why? What you're investing in to be excellent at, people don't want it. The market is not interested in it. So you must select and pick the best of your gift commercial wise. Will it sell? Will people buy it? Do people need it? Now, the need varies from country to country, from market to market. So you look at the country of your dwelling and say, in Nigeria, will people buy artwork, painting? You ask yourself, how many Nigerians will buy painting for $1 million, for example? So you look at your gift and look at the ones that the people in your environment, that's your market, are willing to pay for, and focus on that one. How do you discover your core purpose and fulfill it? It's relatively easy. I've said this, I think I answered this last week. Your core purpose essentially is informed by the thing you're willing to do, even if you're not going to be paid doing it. Anything you're excited and willing to do, even if no one is willing to pay you for it, is an indication of your purpose. And the people in this world whose pain, whose deprivation, whose frustration, and whose hurt touches you the most are most likely the people you're sent to or you're called to. So if it's older people, those are the people you're called to. If it's younger people, if it's the male gender, the female gender, the singles, whoever it is that their challenges touch you, they're the people you're sent to. So you look at that thing you want to do if you're not paid to do it, and the people you feel they're paying the most. And those two indicators can actually reveal to you what your purpose is. Thank you. Mr. Oyekoya Samson, the challenge of life is migrating from the garlic of Egypt to the manna of Canaan. Very true. These are two ends and a process. How do you manage the in-between? That's the gap, which is a challenge realistically. Thank you so much. This is a very powerful question. Now, there are some factors that are necessary for people to move from their Egypt to their Canaan. To move from their Egypt to their Canaan. And I'll just mention them very quickly. Number one, the will. I want to move. If there is no will, there's no way. If there's no will, there's no way. If the children of Israel in Egypt were unwilling, they would never move. Number one is the will. I want to move. Number two, which a lot of people perhaps disdain and they take for granted, is a leader, a mentor. A right leader, a right mentor, who knows the way. Such a person that has been called by God to take you there. Leaving Egypt and going to Canaan was not a matter of we want to go. God had to pick and anoint and grace Moses to be able to deliver them to the promised land. You need somebody that has what it takes to take you there. Someone that is connected to God, someone that can receive from God and can give you guidance and direction on the way to go. So number one, you need will. Number two, you need a mentor, someone that can show you the way. And number three, you need obedience. The reason why those that departed Egypt didn't get to the promised land was disobedience. They kept looking back at the opportunities and the benefits and the safety and security in Egypt, and they kept disdaining their promised land, and they all died in the wilderness. So realistically, like you said, sir, moving from your Egypt to your Canaan, you need that will. I want to do it. I want to do it. Number two, where is the leader that can help me? Not where is the leader that will scam me, that will take advantage of me, that will deceive me. No, a true leader with integrity and reputation, trusted and led by the Spirit, that will not deceive you, that will tell you the truth. Not a perfect leader. Every leader is flawed. Even Moses messed up and he didn't get a portion in the land. So the leader does not have to be perfect, but he has to be sincere and genuine. And you must be convinced that this person, God is with him. Then lastly, obedience. When he says, God says, move like this, God says, move like this, you must be willing to obey. With those three in place, you will move, sir. You will. I guess that's all for tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I really appreciate your presence and your involvement in this. Let's make it a date again next week. Same time, same place, as we share on very important kingdom insights that will make you succeed in life. Look, I want you to understand that this one life that you've got is a gift that God has given to you. And the reason he will cause you to wake up every day is because he still has faith in you that you will do what he's designed and created you to do in this world. Lean not on your own understanding. Don't be derailed and deceived and distracted by what is trending and what is common and what is comfortable. Come out from amongst them and be separate. Stand with and by God and see how he makes great glory of your life, of your destiny. You may look like you're struggling right now, but I assure you, I promise you, at the end of it all, you will win. Thank you so much for your attention. Muyiwaafolabi is my name, and from all of us at this end, we want to say thank you. God bless you. Have a great month of October and have a wonderful and rewarding week. God bless you. Good night.